Hey everybody, it's me Laura, and I'm back again to show you how to make the checkerboard. We're going to use the clay stack, and this stack was created on an Atlas machine at #1 setting. Make sure your blade is all nice and clean, and then just go ahead and cut down. You're going to make one slice. Take one slice off of that brick. And then you're going to take that piece, and with the stripes going into your pasta machine on a #1 setting, thin out that clay. And if you want your slice to be a little bit thinner, go ahead and step down your pasta machine to a 2 or a 3 and thin out this piece. Now once you have that done, go ahead and take your blade and on one edge, cut off the raggedy edge and put that to the side. Then go ahead, make sure that all of your lines are all nice and tucked in pretty tight, and then take your blade and cut off a section on that one end and pull it away with your blade. You're going to get a series of little squares there. And then right at the top, put that right on top of that and pull down and pick up, and you're going to get that next set of squares again and again. As you can see, this is going to eventually give you your checker border. Of all the checker techniques in this video, the checker border is the one I use the most. It usually shows up in and solves problems for me in many of my projects. And so now we have the checkerboard. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take another section off of that piece that has been flattened out and put it over all by itself. Then you'll take a second piece and you're going to flip this thing around with your blade. Let it attach up and then just put it right next to the other piece you laid down. This is the beginning of your checker. Try it again where you cut down another piece, lay it up beside that black with the white, and there you go. You'll have your checkerboard right there, just kind of lining it up. I know it might get off a little bit, so you just try and make it mesh up as best you can. Another piece, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to flip that around using your blade and push it right up against the section you started. And now we're going to go ahead and cut one more piece. There we go. We place it right up against there, and there you have your fully formed checkerboard. I usually do 5 sections. You could do as many as you want, and then you just push in from the sides, make sure it's nice and tight, and lift it up with your blade, of course. Now the dartboard checker, people are like, what in the world? This particular piece I do because it looks like a dartboard. So you're going corner to corner is what you're going to do. So on one single slice, you're going to go from the white corner diagonally over to the black corner, and you're going to cut down and separate off one of those pieces with your blade. Set it to your side, take the other, flip it around just like you did the checkerboard, and then push that up against the other piece. There we go, yeah. And to me it looks like, I don't know, the beginnings of a dartboard. I don't know, but anyway, I do that once, and then I do it again here one more time, cutting away, pulling that apart, putting it up right against there, giving a bit of a checker look into a point. And then that other piece, again, flipping it around, and again putting it up against that pointed dartboard checker piece. So now you have your checker border, your checkerboard, and now your dartboard checker piece. But we have one more piece yet to do, and I recently discovered this little nugget of information. So to create the checkerboard on point, I'm definitely going to need another slice from my stack here. So I'll cut another slice, and I'll go ahead and run that back through my pasta machine on the Atlas #1, because I have an Atlas machine. And once I have that thinned out to where I kind of like it, I'm going to place that down. I'll go ahead and make sure it's Yeah, nice and stretched out. Might have to pull it a little bit. There we go. And then once it's pulled, and I've got it all kind of nice and tight there, cut off the end, get rid of the extra tidbit there, and then cut a section, and again, just make my standard checkerboard. So reversing the checker as I go. And the whole idea of doing this on point is, for those who don't know, when you do something on point, it's not just squares right next to each other. No, instead, you're turning it so that it's going to look like a diamond shape inside of the square and not a bunch of rows of just squares. Okay, so one more piece, lay it right there. Yep, making sure it's all lined up. There we go. And there you have your next checkerboard. So now we're just going to go ahead and take this. Yeah, get some of that stuff off my plate. Take this and just kind of get it together. There we go. Yeah, kind of push it in a little bit. Make sure it's nice and tight. And then we're going to go ahead and just right like with my blade here, you can see right across, you're going to cut right corner to corner, diagonal, and pull both of those pieces apart. And then again, right down the triangle, and you'll have two triangles, two smaller ones, and then the other piece the same way. And cut that in half. There we go. And then take that, and with the other side, go ahead. You can see, yeah, those two pieces. You can take one piece, lift that off, and then you're going to just put them right together. It should be black, white, black, white. And this will form a tiny square. But if you lay that square like down like, you know, regular, you'll see that the squares are on point. They're at a diagonal or at a, they're not going to be just square. They're going to look like little diamonds in there. Not necessarily diamonds, but you get what I mean. And there you go. And so it turns into kind of two smaller pieces of checkerboard, but you could take that and you can even create that where I'm kind of getting it all kind of flush, getting it where it's nice and, you know, just kind of more square, and then putting it together, trying to find a way I could put it together so I could even start to create maybe a small border piece using checkerboard, and that would be on point. So now we have, as you could tell, our checker on point, where it can even turn into a border. We've got that all together as one. Oops, it wants to come away from my tile surface. There we go. And then we have, of course, our checker border, our checkerboard, and then, of course, our dartboard checker piece and the checker on point. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. And if you did, I hope you will like and subscribe to my channel. And as always, I am sending out my biggest of hugs to you all. Have a great day.